Welcome back. It's been a few weeks, definitely not the longest break by far that I've taken, but longer than I intended to this summer. To start off this vlog, I have two new things that I am so excited to share. I don't know if you guys will be quite as excited as me, but I am really excited, so I'm gonna share that excitement with you. The first thing is the easiest thing to show, so we're gonna start there, and that is a new piercing. As you can see, I have 3 piercings now on my right side. So I've had 2 and 2 for a long time. I don't remember how old I was when I got my first piercings, just 1 on each side. And then I think I was a teenager when I got the second ones done, and I have not gotten any new piercings since. And I was terrified, I'm not gonna lie. In case you didn't know, I hate needles. I have a really bad thing about needles. Anytime I have to have blood drawn or shots or anything like that at the doctor, I freak out a little bit, and I have to warn them, I get really anxious about these things. It's always fine, I've never had a bad experience, but it's just, you know, it's just a fear. So I really wanted to get a piercing. I actually had thought about a long time a cartilage pierce, but I'd heard a couple of horror stories from some friends about cartilage pierces that didn't heal well and stuff, so it kind of scared me a little bit for that, and I wasn't sure it'd be worth it. And then I started thinking about a 3rd piercing on that side, and it's been probably at least a year that I have really seriously wanted to get a 3rd piercing and just haven't, because of anxiety about the needle and because of just general uncertainty about, you know, where to go here in The Hague, because I don't know anybody who's gotten their ears pierced here in The Hague. But I just did a little bit of, you know, online research, tried a place, figured, how bad can it be if it has good reviews? And it was great. It was a great experience. The person who did it, she was super nice. I can't change it for quite a while still. I think the total that I have to wait before I can start changing out the earrings is 3 months from the piercing. And it's been about a week and a half now. So it'll be a little bit still. And I'm gonna have to get used to this kind of like dull gray silver stud that they used. But I'm really happy with it. And it's healing really well. So no bad horror stories to report about my 3rd piercing. I don't know why I put it off for so long, but here we are. Oh, also, this is not one of the new things I was talking about, but it's this t-shirt. I mean, it is a new t-shirt, but it wasn't one of the things. Look at the back. Is this not the cutest thing? Sorry to interrupt. This is Andrea from like 10 minutes in the future, but I realized that I didn't actually sit up enough for you to see the whole shirt in those clips. So I'm gonna retry this here so you can actually see the entire shirt. Okay, carry on as you were. Anyway, the second new thing, or new now, but it's not actually a new thing because I've had it before. If you remember way back in the day, I'm gonna have to get up to show you. For those who have stuck around ever since the Paris days, you will remember that we had a piano in our apartment in Paris way back in the day. We got it when we were living in Paris. We loved it. It was very useful as well when we went into the pandemic that we didn't expect. And we had a keyboard that we could put in headphones if we wanted to, if it was like too late at night to make noise, or we could, you know, take off the headphones and play together. My husband plays guitar. I tinker with guitar, as you know, because I've uploaded a couple of things of me tinkering with guitar, but he actually plays guitar. Both of us are kind of beginnery on piano. Neither of us really have training. I had a little bit of like kid training when I was a kid, but I don't actually play piano. But we're both musicians, and I think piano is so much fun as musicians to learn new things. For me, it's really good to challenge myself to try and read the bass clef, which has always been a challenge for me. But of course, we moved to New York, we moved to Montreal, and when we moved to New York especially, we just did like suitcase packing. We didn't take furniture, we sold or donated or gave to friends and family, basically everything that we had there. Put some stuff in storage with my in-laws, and the piano was one of the things that went into storage at my in-laws, and it was actually used by my nieces as well a little bit. But now that we are on this side of the pond and no one in the family was really using it that much anymore, it was just kind of there, we decided to ask if it was okay if we took it back, and that is how we now have it back, and I am so excited. I'm gonna flip this around so I can give you a nice view of what is becoming our little music corner. Welcome to the music corner. Of course, as you can see, it's not perfect. We have curtains here that we're gonna put on this window. And of course, you'll notice that Bingley has already really enjoyed this piano bench. This is Hamlet, having enjoyed this fabric. But it's not perfect, it's nothing fancy, but we are so happy to have this cute little music corner. I've been having so much fun lately, just, you know, plunking around on the keyboard, and we're also gonna order a couple of music books. We had a couple, I think, when we were in Paris that have gone missing. I don't know if they're still at my in-laws and just got mixed up in a different box, or if we gave them to somebody else, or I'm not quite sure. It's been too many years now since we left Paris. It's been 5 years. You might notice that I am getting a little bit glistening right now. I probably need to pull back my hair. I was so excited to be able to have it down today. For the first time, we've been suffering with some heat waves, which have not been as bad in the Netherlands as they were in like France and other countries. We had it, you know, easy comparatively, but it's super humid here. And the buildings are not constructed like I think a lot of French buildings, or at least the ones that I used to live in. Because I remember when we were in Paris, we had 40 degrees at one point. But I don't remember the apartment itself holding heat quite like the apartments here that we've lived in. They hold heat, like they're intended to hold heat. They're built to hold in heat. So even if it's dropping outside, it takes so much longer to get your apartment to actually lower to a comfortable temperature and stay low. So we are just now, as of today, starting to drop a little bit. And then the next few days, we actually should get some pretty lovely temperatures. I don't think we're going over like 22, which is my kind of summer. But anyway, that is the reason for the sheen that I am developing and the reason why I'm probably gonna have to pull my hair back up. And just one more time, because I'm so happy. The piercing. And now I'm gonna carry on drinking my hot coffee, which yes, I have continued to drink even during the heat wave because I just can't help myself. In this adorable mug, which was a gift from one of my sisters. Is that not the truest quote? This wouldn't be another little weekly vlog without a cat update, of course. Say hi to the people, Hamlet. All your biggest fans. So very unbothered. He's really enjoying the fact that we haven't hemmed these curtains yet. Hi, baby. Hello. So I'm just sitting here on the bed, getting some work done on my computer. Is this good posture? No. But sometimes I just don't like to work at my desk or at the table. I just want someplace else, and I love sitting on my stomach. This is so random, but I was just thinking and kind of getting in my head over something that I think maybe a lot of you guys can relate to if you've moved around and stuff like I have, which is that I just really miss some of my besties. I was thinking of one bestie in particular in Canada, not in Quebec. We actually didn't live in the same place. We haven't lived in the same city for a very long time, but she is one of my absolute best friends for 13 years, and I miss her. And I miss like living in the same place as her. It's been 12 years since we've lived in the same place. I know how to live my life being a long distance friend with her, obviously, and it works great. But once in a while, I just get super nostalgic. Sometimes I look back at pictures of us together, how fun it was, how easy it was to see each other. And we've seen each other so many times since by visiting each other, but it's just not quite the same. And sometimes I just get this urge to just text her and be like, you want to go grab Starbucks and just go get a coffee and chat, or go get a coffee and work together. And I can't. And there's a lot of friends actually that I can't do that with. I also miss my sisters. We haven't lived in the same place for, just as long, actually, well, longer. And it's just kind of sad. And it's just one of the realities of moving around a lot. And it's not something that, I necessarily want to change. Although if I ever would get an opportunity to live in the same city as one of my sisters or any of my other best friends, then I would definitely love that. But I'm not going to choose where I live based on my friends because I can't, because they don't all live in the same place. And I've made friends here, and my husband has made friends here, and we've made friends together here. So it's fine, but it doesn't mean that I don't miss those specific people that I have in my life. And I still have them in my life, but sometimes you just want to, text them and say, hey, you want to go hang out this afternoon, and actually be able to do that. And I can't. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to working here in my terrible posture. It actually feels really good on my back, but I try not to do it for long periods of time. I'm gonna get back to work now, and I will catch you in another moment. It is a new day, and as you can see, I'm wearing a long sleeve for the first time in weeks. You have no idea what this does to my mood. Because I'm in such a fantastic mood, I decided to finally tidy up my desk, which I've needed to do for such a long time. And while I was tidying actually one of the drawers, I found 3 postcards that I had gotten and stuck. I guess I probably put them on my desk and then threw in a drawer at one point because I needed to tidy my desk. And I forgot to put them with my postcard collection, which means I didn't actually feature them in my postcard video. And these are some of the absolute most beautiful postcards that I've ever gotten, and they were not in my postcard video. So I have to remedy that just now and show you. These are all from the west of Canada in Banff. I just love them so much. This makes me so nostalgic. I miss Canada, but I'm here at my desk. I'm not actually sure if I've shown you my desk since we moved, at least last year. And while we're here, let me show you my gaming lights. Ta-da! Is that not the coolest ever? And I can actually just turn off the overhead light for the coolest ambiance ever, especially when it's dark outside, when the window is not letting in any light. It's so cool. And I can also change the colors. I can go kind of orange, which I'm not really sure is showing up. Can go red, can go like bright green, but my favorite obviously is my purple. I absolutely love it, and it's so nice when I'm gaming in here. And gaming is actually one of the things, kind of going back to what I was talking about in the last clip that you saw about missing friends. Gaming is something that has kept me in touch with some friends, like more than anything else, I think. Obviously you can do texting, FaceTime, but gaming is something that has become an outlet basically for me and some of my friends, all of whom are based in North America actually, in the US and Canada. So I do, like, I have to play on North American servers even though I'm here in Europe right now, and the time zones can be kind of difficult. It's a good way of staying in touch and doing something, like some sort of activity, because one of the things I said that I missed is just being able to go out and do stuff with friends, not just FaceTime and talk one-on-one, not just text and update and stuff, but to actually be there with the person, be present, and be focused on something together, be doing something together. And that's something that, you know, is really important to me. My friends in the place where I live, we do board games and bouldering and stuff like that. Like, those are the things that I like to do with my friends. So it's like activities, you know, you're doing something together while you're chatting and while you're spending time. So gaming is a nice way of, you know, doing that with my long distance friends. And it's also just something I love. You know that. I've been a gamer all my life. As you can see, still a little bit of a mess going on here. I have some kind of like miscellaneous, you know, electronic things that I probably should do something with. I also have random things like this patch that my husband and I got when we were in Scotland. Oh, there's cat hair on that. This patch without cat hair. My D&D dice as well, which I don't know if I've ever showed in a video. There they are. These books I need to do something with. I'm kind of in the middle of both of them, but I'm either going to DNF them or I'm just gonna have to like power through and actually commit and finish them. Speaking of books, I will have an update for you on what I'm currently reading, which is very, very exciting. Okay, the reading update that fantasy people everywhere will be very excited about. And if you're not a fantasy person, I apologize, it's probably gonna be really boring. I am finally reading Mistborn Era 2. If you follow my writing channel, because I think it's really mostly on my writing channel that I've talked about it, you know that a few years ago when I was living in New York, I started reading Brandon Sanderson. I started with Mistborn Era 1, which is typically the recommended spot to start with him. And I really loved it. Like, I absolutely loved Mistborn, more than I actually expected to, which sounds kind of weird because it's very popular, I guess. But I don't know, sometimes the really popular books just don't resonate. So I wasn't actually sure if I was gonna like it. I loved it. And then when I was in Canada, I started Stormlight, and I have read up to the most recent book that came out. I haven't read that one yet, so no spoilers, please. And no spoilers for anybody, actually. No spoilers for Mistborn or for Stormlight. I hadn't started Era 2 of Mistborn, though. So Era 2 is not like a continuation in any way of the first Mistborn. It's basically a time jump forward in terms of where we are in the world, but also the style. Mistborn felt a little bit more, not exactly medieval fantasy, but more in that sort of realm. And this feels much more, I guess, like 19th century gunslinger sort of inspiration. So it's very different, and it does take place actually within the fantasy world much further in the future than the original Mistborn. None of the same characters, really just the same magic system, but it actually plays out quite differently in the book because you do have different sort of technologies and very different characters. So far I am 6 chapters in. As you can see, this is 6 chapters worth. It's much shorter than the original Mistborn, which I didn't realize. I think that this one was that much shorter. So hopefully it won't take me too long. You guys know that sometimes I can either read really fast or very, very slowly. I have a few things that I need to do in front of the screen, but I also need to do a grocery run. So I think that's going to be probably the next thing on my agenda while I have a bit of time and while it's nice weather outside. It's a little bit gray today. I'm loving it. You guys, I've had my fill of hot weather. I'm ready for fall. Okay, I was wildly optimistic about the weather outside. In fact, I should have worn a short sleeve today because the sun has come out. How about a little grocery haul? I never do these, but I'm always interested when other people do. I didn't end up getting any fruit. That was one of the things that I tried to get, but they didn't have a good selection of the stuff that I wanted. But we do still have some bananas and some strawberries. I got some veggies. Couple of red peppers. I usually like to get yellow, but they didn't have any. I also got a courgette. I grew up calling this a zucchini. This is also called a zucchini in some parts of the world, including the US where I grew up, but I have been converted to the British French way because I live with a French guy who learned British English, so of course he calls these courgettes. And I didn't actually grow up eating a lot of zucchini courgette. My family usually would have some like shredded zucchini for zucchini bread, but we didn't actually eat a lot of like savory zucchini. So because now I often will make savory stuff with it, like I like to put it in pasta or I like to put it in like wraps and stuff like that, I really associate savory courgette with the word courgette. And then the only time I call it zucchini is when I'm making bread, which I actually don't really do that often. And that's something I probably should try to do now that I actually can bake without creating too much heat in my apartment. But anyway, I still have a little bit of yellow courgette in the fridge that I need to finish up. But I also got a green courgette and I got a cucumber. These we've been eating a lot in wraps, especially in the warmer weather. We've really been craving wraps, but with like a fresh kind of summery palette. So we've been doing like cucumber and tofu, which I also got. I got some tofu. And I also got these little falafel bites. They're like spicy falafel bites that I got from just the grocery store here, Albert Heijn. But these things make really good wraps. And then sometimes we put like a little bit of mint and we put hummus, which is also something I bought. My husband loves to make homemade hummus. He makes a really good homemade hummus, but he doesn't always have time for it. And we don't have any chickpeas that are ready to go. We have like the chickpeas in their natural form, but they have to be boiled and stuff. So I just bought some pre-made hummus at the store. I also bought this pre-made vegan egg salad. It doesn't exactly taste 100% like egg salad, but it has a really nice flavor and it is very much reminiscent of egg salad. Sometimes when I don't know what to do for lunch, if I'm having lunch by myself, I'm not really the greatest at wanting to cook something fancy for my own lunch if it's just me having lunch by myself. So this is really nice just to put on some bread. And I also got some bread. We've been getting this kind of more grainy kind of sourdough style bread and it's very, very good. I also got some carrots, dates, margarine, kind of the essentials. I got also some milk chocolate digestives. Speaking of essentials, of course, you know, shredded cheese, back to essentials. Everything is Gouda. Jam, this is Scottish blackcurrant preserve. And then lastly, I got a couple of frozen stuff, which I probably should have started with and then immediately put them away, but I'm gonna show you really quickly. This is a brand that I discovered recently. I don't know how to say it, Crosta Morica maybe? Sorry if I butchered that. This one is vegetarian. Unfortunately, the pizza, I believe, is not vegetarian. I think they use Parmesan or something, which is a type of cheese that is not actually vegetarian. If you didn't know, there are a handful of cheeses that are not vegetarian. And then they had these gyoza from my favorite gyoza brand. They had them buy one, get one. So I got two flavors, which I love, tofu and vegetable, and this one is vegan Korean barbecue style. Really, really good, by the way, if you haven't tried this brand. And these are starting to sweat. They're starting to condensate a little bit, so I'm gonna get those in the freezer. It's a little bit later now. I've just been getting some work done and I think I'm gonna wrap up this vlog here because I reviewed some of the footage that I have and I think I have plenty. But I do hope this has been an interesting video. I hope this has been a fun kind of return to my little, I guess, weekly style vlogs. Sorry about the notification. I have an event coming up this evening. I'm just looking at the bookshelf here and I have periodically kind of gone through it, reorganized it, etc. I am wondering if I should take another look at it because some of the places, like some of the shelves, have gotten a little bit out of order or a little bit chaotic. I've made some additions and my husband's gotten some and he's also like reading some, so he's taken some out. Like there's a space, I think it's there, where he's reading Anna Karenina, I believe, right now. And that thing is chunky, so there's a huge space there. So I'm trying to ignore those things, like the temporary gaps, but there are maybe a little bit, some maybe improvements that could be made. So let me know if you want to see that. I really enjoyed when I was putting together the shelves. I loved doing the time lapse of that. And I actually was planning on doing a time lapse while I was like organizing my desk earlier, and I just got started before I actually thought to set up the camera, and I didn't do it. If you are watching this video, you've gotten it somehow to this part of the video and you're not subscribed, please do make sure you subscribe to me on this channel if you want to see the next things that I publish, which might be quite similar to this. It might be more of deep dives, you know, nerdy deep dives into the things that I love or the things that I've experienced, or living abroad realities, that sort of thing, because I have lived in a lot of places and I have a lot of stories and a lot of things that I have learned about myself, about those places, about life. Okay, babbling done. I'm gonna finish my coffee and then I have to get ready because I do have something this evening. So I'm on a timer. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you very soon in another video.